When stuff starts to go together, when stuff gets a little bit right, when stuff looks good, you watch.
I made a deal with the guy above. If he'd give me that third one, I'd never ask again.
The guy above may be telling you a deal's a deal.
Something's going to happen to get in their way. It's who they are.
Tries to slide out of the pocket, chased down from behind. And Romo is slow to get up.
And that is the worst possible sign that any Cowboy fan could ever see.
With the 13-year veteran sidelined indefinitely and only a rookie quarterback picked in the 4th round to turn to, things looked less than optimistic for the 2016 Dallas Cowboys.
Dak Prescott has not been zeroed in by first-team defenses yet on an NFL level. He's still a rookie. He ain't going to do much with a rookie quarterback. So the Cowboys are in bad shape.
But following a Week 1 loss to the Giants, the Cowboys' young stars showed that the team was in more than capable hands.
Toward the end zone, bodies tangled, flag down, catch made by Dez Bryant.
It's Elliott! Elliott for the touchdown! Pressure up the middle, he's gonna run, and he's gonna score!
Oh, damn. You know, Dak's all right, man. You know, he can really play.
Here's the bad news. Not only are they 10-1, they're really good. Ezekiel Elliott, he's been amazing. I mean, his speed is ridiculous. The offensive line is amazing.
They finished the regular season 13-3, surpassing many expectations and had many more laid out for them as they held the NFC's #1 seed. Awaiting them in the divisional round were the 4th seed Green Bay Packers.
Dallas they have a huge home field advantage. Like, I believe they have a huge home field advantage.
But I did see things with the Cowboys defense that makes me say, hey, they can still be an accident waiting to happen, but not Dak and Zeke. I know that.
Flags, free play. Rodgers, touchdown! Pass for Adams, he's there and hitting stride. Montgomery looking for his second, and he's got it. This one is picked. Telegraph pass, and it's Micah Hyde. Rodgers throws for Adams, and picked off by Heath. And Heath gives momentum back to Dallas. End zone, touchdown, Witten. Bryant, touchdown, tie game.
And after an exchange of field goals, the Cowboys' defense was ready to send this game into overtime.
Rodgers is hit and somehow hangs on. It's Heath with a sack. Now 12 seconds left, 3rd and 20.
Snap to Rodgers, looking, rolls left, waits, throws it deep down the left side. He's got his man out of bounds on the far side.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The official from behind the play said the catch was good, and he was right.
Oh my goodness, what a play. 51-yard field goal attempt, snap, placement, kick to the uprights, and it is right down the middle. It is good, and the Packers are going to the NFC Championship game.
Aaron Rodgers has done it again.
I just want you to know, I feel your pain.
Get off of me.
I do.
I don't know that any words or anything that can be said about missing this opportunity.
Jerry Jones, the president of the Dallas Cowboys, as well as their owner and general manager since the 1980s. He presided over the team for their dynastic run in the 90s, and before their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years in the 1995 season.
I made a deal with the guy above. If he'd give me that third one, I'd never ask again. I've been trying to figure out how to make another trade.
We'll look for ways that we can get better, and we'll get our eyes forward on 2017.
But before the 2017 season could get started,
Ezekiel Elliott has been suspended for the first 6 games of the season. The prosecutor said that there was physical violence that took place between Zeke Elliott and the accuser. I was told that Jerry Jones is furious.
After the suspension was put on hold and back on multiple times, it began Week 10. But even with Zeke for the first 9 games, the Cowboys looked mediocre.
The top girl is in for a Rams touchdown. Prescott tripped up. Pass is broken up. Incomplete. The Broncos take over. This one, Adams, touchdown!
They suffered a blowout loss to the eventual 5-11 Broncos, Dak had been less accurate than his rookie season and more turnover prone, and Dez Bryant, a Pro Bowler from the previous season and 3 times in his career, had only 2 touchdowns in the last 10 games of the season and led the league in drops.
Pass is picked off the hands of Bryant.
During Zeke's suspension, they suffered a 3-game losing streak, finished the season 4-1, but were too far gone in the playoff picture to get back in the dance. So what can we say about this season? Sophomore slump for Dak and Zeke, failing to deliver on meteoric expectations following a surprising season? Probably a combination of the two.
Comes off it, throws high, picked! Walking to the end zone is Coleman.
Dez Bryant was cut in April following his underwhelming season, but his absence was quickly filled with the trading for Amari Cooper, previously a 2-time Pro Bowler, in October of that season.
This is the weirdest and most frustrating Dallas Cowboy team, or any team, that I have ever attempted to root for a whole season. And yet, this Dallas Cowboy team just won 6 out of 7 games to win the NFC East.
After a Week 9 loss sent them to 3-5, they finished the season 7-1, thanks to Dak Prescott completing passes at the league's 4th best percentage in that time, the defense having a top-tier linebacker duo, and Amari Cooper's arrival giving Dak a true #1 option again, being top 10 in receiving yards during the turnaround. Doubts still remained about the Cowboys as they would only be a 4 seed, but they had at least one playoff hit.
Elliott bouncing. Ezekiel Elliott down inside the 25. The pass is caught. Gallup. Elliott gets in. Prescott going to carry. And reach. Flip. Sets up 1st and goal at the 1.
Cowboys took care of business against the Seahawks on Saturday. Now they're 7-point underdog on the road. The Cowboys were 3-5 away from Jerry World.
Between a vicious running game led by 1,000-yard rusher Todd Gurley and the wizardry from the mind of second-year head coach Sean McVay, the Cowboys had their hands full.
I thought they got beat up. I thought that the Rams beat them up at the line of scrimmage. They were running the football down their throats. The Dallas Cowboys, it wasn't about coaching Saturday. They got beat up.
Here's Anderson. Sets up 1st and goal at the 1.
Oh, Elliott blown up. Oh, man.
Gurley. Lot of room. Inside the 20. He is gone. Touchdown.
The Cowboys had made progress overall, but still remained stuck at the divisional round.
Terrell Owens tweeting at Jerry Jones, "Hey, at Real Jerry Jones, about time for a coaching change, don't you think? 2 playoff wins in 10 years. Garrett isn't the answer and never will be. Way to compete, guys. Hashtag real talk."
But with Amari Cooper for a full season and a new offensive coordinator for the 2019 season in Kellen Moore, things were looking positive for Dallas, with many ranking them as a top 10 to 12 team to contend for a Super Bowl. Of course, with Jerry Jones leading the organization, the expectation is to win at the highest level, and they did that for over half of the 2019 season. They started out the season 3-0 and 6-4, and were well on their way to a 2nd straight NFC East crown. But late in the season, when they lined up against teams all with records at 500 or better, they laid down, embarrassingly.
Chased by Khalil Mack, he got him.
I don't think there's a game that a coaching staff couldn't do better in. I don't like it that we've got so many as I'm standing here tonight.
In 3 of their 4 losses in that 5-game stretch, the Cowboys failed to generate more than 15 points. Their division title hopes, and overall playoff hopes hinged on a Week 16 matchup with the Eagles, and they responded to the occasion with 54 rush yards and giving up 431 total yards to the Eagles. A 9-point effort was nowhere near good enough to save their season, and Philadelphia clinched the division the next week, ending the Cowboys' season.
I can only imagine what 2020 is going to be like. Because 2019 is going out with a bang. Your Cowboys missed the playoffs.
What has Jason Garrett meant to you?
Everything. I mean, he drafted me.
The talent has carried Jason Garrett. When the talent doesn't start making the plays that win the games, he can't fix it. He can't re-motivate it.
We have breaking news in Dallas. The Cowboys moving on without Jason Garrett as head coach. The move widely speculated since the end of the season.
For the first time in 14 years, Jason Garrett would not be a part of the Cowboys organization. Coach Mike McCarthy, who had been on the opposing end of some Packers-Cowboys wild playoff finishes, would now lead America's team.
I mean, I told Jerry I watched every play of the 2019 season, but I wanted the job. So,
even if he did watch every play of the 2019 season, none of them could have prepared Mike for what would befall the Cowboys in the 2020 season.
And now another fumble. Do you believe this?
If you know nothing else aside from Dak Prescott's season-ending ankle fracture and the Cowboys' horrible defense, let this fan's reaction tell the whole story. So what's the reward for such a pitiful, unsuccessful season? Hard knocks, of course. Obviously, the NFL will not pass up an opportunity to hype up its premier franchise, but the noise was justified this offseason. Dak Prescott was passing for over 420 yards per game before his injury, 90 more than the next closest quarterback, and he had received a contract extension. They also fired a defensive coordinator who led a defense that gave up the 5th most points and was bottom 10 in yards per game. Justin Jefferson stole the attention on the league's rookies, but CeeDee Lamb nearly racked up 1,000 yards in his first year, and they would have another rookie coming in, picked 12th in the draft, Micah Parsons, who was expected to do big things in the league. Expectations were through the roof.
Hurts a throw, picked off! It's Trayvon Diggs! Down the sideline, nobody's gonna catch him! Extra men on the rush, Prescott airs it out. Lamb, got it! Touchdown! Quick throw, and it's intercepted! He's got another one! And he's got a field ahead of him! Diggs is gonna take it to the end zone!
I'm talking about a team that now leads the National Football League in yards gained and points scored, that leads the National Football League in opponents' third down conversions allowed. They are now #1 in takeaways, turnover ratio. They're now tied for second. I'm starry-eyed because there are stars all over the ball. Dare I say that I saw the makings of a Super Bowl team out there. It might not be this year, but it well might be next year, and it's got a real shot at taking off this year.
I'd do anything known to man to get in a Super Bowl, and I could probably be anywhere in the world. I want to be here with our team.
In case you're wondering, did he choke up? He very much chokes up.
And Jerry's team would have a home game to start off the postseason.
Joel, the running back. They toss it to him. Juszczyk out in front. Throws the block. Mitchell to the corner. And the 49ers take it the distance on the opening drive for the touchdown. From the pocket to the end zone. And the touchdown. Amari Cooper. Prescott hit. When he threw it, and it's intercepted. K'Waun Williams. Debo follows his blockers and takes off. Inside the 10. What a run. Touchdown, San Francisco. Here's a 2nd and 11. Garoppolo getting away from the trouble and overthrows it, gets picked. It's intercepted. On 3rd down. Open field ahead. Prescott sees it and takes it for the touchdown. Here they come around with Debo and blockers in front. He can close out the game, and he does if they give him the spot. And it is short by a Sterator index card. And that's the area. Lamb gets it on the lateral, and he gets out of bounds.
This is not a good job by the Niners.
Schultz goes out at the 40.
The game's over if they keep him in bounds. Dak has to get this out of bounds or he's taking a shot to the end zone.
Prescott takes off running the football. Whoa, I don't think this is going to work out.
It will. They'll be able to clock this. They were planning for it. Oh, my gosh.
The official gets in the way. The game's over. The game is over.
Oh, he did.
Mechanics were intact. I felt from our end of it. Communication that I was given on the sideline, they were reviewing it. They were going to put time back on the clock.
Dak, what do you think about the fans throwing beer balls on the field there?
I think they were aiming at the referees.
Credit to them then. That's what it takes.
And the next thing I know that they're running off the field.
That's the end of the game. The game is over. The game is over, and San Francisco survives and advances.
Expect stuff from the Cowboys just so they can be up here and they can plummet, come crashing down like the sorry franchise that they are.
Another year, another Dallas disappointment. Not many significant things changed entering this season for the Dallas Cowboys, except for the departure of Amari Cooper, making CeeDee Lamb the go-to guy in his third year. At the beginning of their season, Prescott suffered a thumb injury that could have sent other teams' seasons sideways, but didn't hurt the Cowboys at all, who rode their stellar defense to a 4-1 record without Dak. After Dak's return, the offense did have its struggles, but when the defense was able to do what it was doing week in and week out, it wasn't a huge concern. The Eagles ended up winning the division, meaning that the Cowboys' same 12-5 record that got them last year's 3 seed would get them the 5 seed in 2022. Starting out with a limping Tampa Bay Buccaneers team presented a golden opportunity to start off the playoffs the right way.
Protected, end zone, caught, touchdown!
Last night was a tour de force by my Dallas Cowboys.
It was.
Start to finish, back and forth, up and down.
Dak Prescott, what he did last night, given what he was up against, given the pressure that was on him, considering they hadn't won a playoff game in a long time road, I ain't got nothing to give you. Kudos to the Dallas Cowboys. If they can package that up, bottle it, ship it to San Francisco, that team that you saw last night, ladies and gentlemen, is good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Are you confident now, after that performance by Dak Prescott, that he can get his team to the Super Bowl?
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
And a dominant victory tonight on the road in Tampa Bay.
The Cowboys were slight underdogs in their divisional round game in San Francisco, yet the matchup was expected to be as close as their wildcard matchup from last year. Everyone figured Dallas' defense would travel. It's whether or not their offense would show up too.
Blitz coming. Prescott fires. Oh, it's intercepted. Far side of the field.
The inconsistency of Dak Prescott, and therefore the inconsistency of the offense. When the Cowboys run the football more than they throw it, the chances of them winning greatly increases. They threw the ball 15 more times than which they ran it yesterday. We have a 7-year body of work of what Dak Prescott is. He is inconsistent.
Just when I thought he had turned the corner, he took me right down a dead-end street. Am I right?
He took you down memory lane.
I'm not going to call out Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons and those brothers. They played like a championship defense. Their quarterback let them down. Let me tell you something right there. What can go wrong will go wrong. No matter how good they look, when the lights shine brightest, they will crumble.
Final play, it looks like barring a penalty. Prescott over the middle of the turret, gets smoked right away, and that'll do it. The 49ers back to the championship game.
I keep reaching back to the glorious past. I stick my hand in there and it gets bitten off.
Chop it off.
It has now been 28 years since we even got to an NFC championship. 28 years and counting, because I don't see us getting there next year.
Still, I'm sick. Don't have really anything material or important to listen to say.
At the end of the 2023 season, the Cowboys arrived at a similar spot, a 12-5 record just like the previous 2 years, a division title for the NFC East just like in 2021, a pretty good defense and an offense that was mostly reliable. Even better than years past, they entered the postseason with the 2 seed. They would not have to go on the road once if they wanted to reach their first NFC Championship game in nearly 30 years. They would welcome in the 7th-seeded Packers into Jerry World. With a top 3 passing offense, top 5 passing defense, and the most defensive touchdowns in the league, everyone in Dallas had to be saying this was their year.
Jones getting near the goal line. Is he in? He is! Touchdown, Green Bay! Prescott fires for Cooks, and it's intercepted! Jair Alexander! Aaron Jones up the gut, surging forward, he's in! Prescott first read not there, in trouble, rolling, pumping, taken down for the sack. Pressure, back foot throw, end zone, it is caught for the touchdown! Oh my goodness! Here's Prescott over the middle, it's going to be picked off, and no one in front of him! It's 27-0.
When stuff starts to go together, when stuff gets a little bit right, when stuff looks good, you watch. The Dallas Cowboys. Something's going to happen to get in their way. This is who they are. It's who they are. What can go wrong will go wrong. No matter how good they look, when the lights shine brightest, they will crumble.
I made a deal with the guy above. If he'd give me that third one, I'd never ask again.
The guy above may be telling you a deal's a deal.